You can start again right now from the beginning, and this time it will work. In this video, I will take you on a journey from the very first steps, beginner level, all the way to high-level English. Not in 10 years, not with stress, but step by step in a real, natural, powerful way. I'll show you what works and what doesn't, what to do and what to avoid. You will learn the truth about how people really become fluent, and you'll see that you already have everything you need inside you. Maybe you are shy. Maybe you are busy. Maybe you think, I'm not good at languages. But trust me, you are better than you think. You don't need to be perfect. You just need the right path. Chapter 1. The first step: learn to hear English before you learn to speak. So, let's begin. Really begin. This is the first step on your journey to advanced English. And it may surprise you. We are not starting with grammar rules. We are not starting with vocabulary lists. We are starting with something even more basic, something even more powerful. We are starting with listening. Think of a baby. A baby does not open a book and study verbs. A baby does not write flashcards. A baby listens for months. The baby hears voices, sounds, music, and emotions. The baby listens again and again, and slowly, something amazing happens. One day, the baby begins to understand. Later, the baby begins to speak, but only after hearing the language many, many times. You are not a baby, of course, but the method still works. If you want to speak English, you must first learn to hear English. I don't just mean hearing words. I mean something deeper. Now let's talk about a simple way to listen deeply, even as a beginner. I call it the 3-listen method. Here's how it works. Step 1. Choose a short audio or video. 1 minute, 2 minutes, not more. Something easy, something interesting. Listen with subtitles. Watch and read at the same time. Don't worry about every word. Just relax. Step 2. Listen again, but this time without subtitles. Close your eyes if you want. Just focus on the sound. You may not understand every word, but now your brain is trying. It's connecting the sounds with meaning. Step 3. Listen one more time, now with subtitles again. This time, things will feel different. Listen. Chapter 2. The Silent Power of Reading. Why beginners must read more than speak. After you begin listening to English, something magical starts to happen. You start to hear the rhythm. You start to feel the flow. But maybe you think, now I must speak. That's a normal feeling. Most beginners want to speak fast. They want to talk right away. But here's the truth. And it may surprise you. Speaking too early can actually slow you down. If you try to speak before you're ready, you can feel stress, fear, and even shame. Your brain freezes. Your mouth doesn't know what to do. So, what should you do instead? The answer is simple, but powerful. You should read. Yes, read. Read a lot. Read slowly. Read silently. You don't need to speak yet. You need to see the language. You need to let the words enter your mind, not through your mouth, but through your eyes. Reading is the silent power behind every great language learner. It's quiet, but strong, and it works. When you read, your brain learns grammar, not through rules, but through patterns. You see how real English is used. You learn vocabulary, not just one word, but how words live in sentences. You feel the meaning. You grow your fluency without stress, no pressure, just reading. But here's the important part. You must read the right way. Not school books, not textbooks. You must read for pleasure. That means books you enjoy, books that are easy, stories that make you feel something. Then I discovered simple storybooks. I started reading every day, just 10 or 15 minutes. And everything changed. My vocabulary grew fast. I stopped translating in my head. I felt more confident. I even started speaking without thinking too much. Reading quietly helped me speak more clearly. It changed everything. So how can you do this? Start small. Find a book that is very easy. It's okay if it feels too easy, as that's good. You want to read without a dictionary, without stopping, without stress. Try storybooks for children or graded readers. These are books written just for learners. Choose a topic you like. Fantasy, romance, travel, whatever makes you curious. And read every day, just a few pages, slowly, with love. If you see a new word, try to guess the meaning. Don't stop too much. Just keep going. The story is more important than the dictionary. Over time, the meaning becomes clear. Your brain is learning. Trust the process. Also, don't worry about speaking yet. Reading will help your speaking in a deep, natural way. It gives you the words, it gives you the rhythm, it gives you the confidence. Reading is like food for your brain. Eat it every day. So, let go of the pressure to speak fast. Let go of the idea that speaking equals progress. That's not always true. Chapter 3. Speak like a child, not like a test. The real way to start talking. Now, we begin to speak, but not like in school, not like in a test, not with fear or pressure or trying to be perfect. We speak like a child, with joy, with play, and with freedom. Let me ask you something. How do babies learn to speak their first language? They don't study grammar rules. They don't take vocabulary tests. They don't worry about making mistakes. They just play. They listen a lot. They try to copy sounds. They laugh. They point. They sing. They talk to themselves. And they are not afraid. This is why children learn so fast. They are free. They are curious. They are not trying to be perfect. They are just trying to connect, to explore, to express. As adults, we often do the opposite. We want to sound smart. We want to say it correctly. We are afraid to make a mistake. So we freeze. We stop speaking. Or we speak very slowly and feel embarrassed. This is why so many learners study for years, but still can't speak with confidence. The secret is not in your mouth, it's in your mind. If your mind feels safe, your mouth can relax. If your heart feels joy, your voice becomes free. So, how can we learn to speak like a child, even as adults? The first step is to forget about correct English. Yes, forget it. At the beginning, your goal is not to speak correctly. Your goal is to speak simply, to speak from the heart. If you know 100 words, use those 100 words to say what you feel. It's not about big words. It's about real connection. I want to tell you something from my own life. When I started learning Spanish, I was shy. I wanted to speak perfectly. I wanted to impress people. But every time I opened my mouth, I felt nervous. So one day, I decided to try something different. I went to the mirror, I looked at myself, and I started talking. Just one sentence, then another. I talked about my day, I talked about the weather, I made jokes, I made mistakes, but I smiled, I laughed, I enjoyed it, and something beautiful happened. I stopped being afraid. I started speaking more and more. I began to trust my voice. This is what I call a safe speaking zone. It's a place where you can speak without fear, without stress, without other people watching or correcting you, and you can make this zone anywhere. Your bed. Don't wait for perfect. Don't wait until you know more grammar or more vocabulary. Just begin, with small words, with simple thoughts, with a smile. By now, you've listened, you've read, and you've started to speak. Your English is growing, not through rules, but through experience, not with stress, but with joy. In the next chapter, we will go even deeper. We will talk about memory, how to remember words, how to make them stick in your mind forever, without boring repetition. I'll show you how to use stories, pictures, and emotion to remember anything. You'll never forget new words again. But for now, look in the mirror. Say something, anything, in English, and smile. You're not just learning a language, you're finding your voice. Chapter 4. Grammar Without Pain. How to Learn Grammar the Natural Way. Now it's time for the big question, the question that scares so many learners. What about grammar? Maybe you felt it too. That tight feeling in your stomach when you hear the word grammar. All those rules, all those exceptions, all those mistakes. It can feel heavy, cold, and confusing. But here's the truth. Grammar doesn't have to hurt. In fact, grammar can be simple, soft, and even beautiful. Yes, beautiful. But not when it comes from a textbook. Not when it's forced into your mind like a math formula. Grammar becomes beautiful when you feel it, when you hear it, when you see it again and again in real life. Let me tell you something amazing. Children never read grammar books, but they speak perfectly. Why? Because they don't learn grammar through rules. They learn grammar through patterns. They hear a sentence many times, and their brain starts to understand the shape. It's like music. They hear the rhythm, the beat, the melody, and they start to copy it. They don't say, "Oh, this is present perfect tense." They just feel it's right. As adults, we forget this natural way. We try to use logic. We say, rule number 1 says this. Rule number 2 says that. But language is not a machine. It's a living thing. So in this chapter, we go back to the natural way, the way children learn, the way native speakers learn, even if they don't realize it. So how do we learn grammar without pain? First, we stop memorizing rules. Yes, stop. You don't need to study grammar the old way. Instead, you need to see grammar in context. That means inside real sentences, in real stories, from real people. Let me give you an example. You're reading a short story. The character says, "I've lost my keys." You might not understand every word, but you keep reading. Later, the character says, "Have you seen my keys?" Now you see it again. Have and past participle. You don't need to name it, just feel it. Then you hear in a podcast, "I've been to London." And again, "Have you ever tried sushi?" Over time, your brain starts to notice the pattern. You don't study it, you absorb it, just like a child. You can do this while listening too. Find short, clear audio, with subtitles at first. Listen again and again. Read the subtitles. Notice the grammar. Ask yourself, when do they say "I went"? When do they say "I have gone"? What's the feeling? What's the situation? Slowly, your brain will build a deep understanding, not from rules, but from real life. Here's a spike moment. Something powerful that can change how you see grammar forever. In one study, students were divided into two groups. Group 1 studied grammar rules for many weeks. Group 2 just read simple stories and listened to easy English. Guess what? The second group, the story group, did better on the grammar test than the rule group. Why? Because grammar was not something cold on a paper. It was alive in the story. It had emotion, color, and meaning. You can do this too. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Even native speakers make grammar mistakes. What matters is not being perfect. What matters is feeling the patterns. When you read, pay attention to the verbs, the word order, the small changes. Ask yourself simple questions. Why did the writer say it this way? What's the difference between "he walks" and "he is walking"? Just asking the question opens your mind. When you listen, hear the grammar. Don't just listen for meaning. Listen for structure. Listen for the little words. Do they say "a" or "the", "in" or "on", "was going" or "went"? Let your brain notice it without stress. When you speak, use the grammar you've seen and heard. Maybe it's not perfect. That's okay. Over time, it will become more natural. The more you see it, the more you hear it, the more you use it, the more it becomes yours. Grammar is not your enemy. It's not here to confuse you. It's here to help you say what you feel, what you think, what you believe. It's the structure of your voice. And when you learn it in the natural way, by listening, reading, and feeling, it becomes something warm, something helpful, something alive. So now, grammar is not pain. It's not pressure. It's progress. In this chapter, I want to share with you the 3 keys to fluency. I call them the 3 R's: repetition, rhythm, and relaxation. These 3 simple ideas can change your English forever. They are the secret bridge between being an intermediate speaker and becoming advanced. Let's start with repetition. Repetition is not boring. It is powerful. When you repeat phrases and sentences over and over, your brain starts to remember the sounds, the words, the flow. But it's important to repeat naturally, not just copying like a robot, but with feeling, with expression. Here's how you do it. Listen to a short sentence or phrase in English. Then say it aloud, again and again. At first, you might need to listen 3 or 4 times, then try to copy the exact sound, the melody, the pauses. This trains your mouth, your tongue, and your brain to work together. It builds muscle memory, just like when you learn to play the piano or ride a bike. That brings me to the second R, rhythm. English is a musical language. It has a special rhythm, stress, and melody that make it unique. When you learn rhythm, you learn to sound more natural. Native speakers don't say every word with the same strength. Some words are louder, longer, or faster. This is called stress, and it helps listeners understand meaning. How do you learn rhythm? The answer is simple. Listen and copy. Listen to songs, podcasts, and conversations. Feel the beat inside the words. Try to sing English like a song, even if you're not a singer. When you speak with rhythm, your English sounds alive, interesting, and easy to understand. Now, the third R, relaxation. This is the most important part. When you speak, don't worry about making mistakes. Don't worry if you don't know every word. Relax your mouth, your voice, and your mind. Speaking English is like dancing. If you're too tense, you freeze. If you relax, you move freely. Relaxation means letting go of fear. It means accepting that English is a process. It means enjoying the moment, even if it's imperfect. When you relax, your brain works better. Your pronunciation improves. Your words flow naturally. Here's a powerful technique that combines all 3 R's. I call it the shadow technique. The shadow technique means you listen to a short clip of English, a sentence or two, and you shadow it by speaking aloud immediately after or at the same time. In this chapter, I will explain the truth about thinking in English and how it is not some magical skill only a few have. It's something anyone can develop with the right mindset and habits. First, let's clear up a big misunderstanding. Thinking in English is not about perfection. It's not about understanding every word in your head immediately or speaking like a native speaker all the time. Thinking in English means starting to live inside English, a little more each day. Real progress in English and in life is not about learning everything quickly or perfectly. It's about learning forever. The journey never ends, and that's a wonderful thing. When you see learning as a lifelong adventure, you open the door to endless growth. In this chapter, I want to show you how advanced learners keep improving, even after years of study. They do not stop. Instead, they build systems and habits that make English a natural part of their daily lives, not just something they do in a classroom or for homework. How do you do that? One key is to connect deeply with content you love: movies, books, podcasts, music, and people. These are your best teachers once you get to this stage. Choose English materials that make you feel excited, curious, and happy. When you enjoy what you learn, you want to keep learning. Imagine watching your favorite movie without subtitles, or listening to a podcast about a hobby you love, or chatting with friends in English about the things that matter to you. These moments help your brain think directly in English. You don't translate anymore. You feel the language inside your mind. Another secret is to make English part of your everyday life, not just your study time. Label things around your house with English words. Think about your daily plans in English. Write simple notes or journal entries. Talk to yourself in English while cooking, walking, or relaxing. These small habits build your English habit naturally. Now, here is the top moment of this chapter. Thinking in English is not a skill you have or don't have. It is a habit, just like brushing your teeth or drinking water. When you practice this habit every day, it becomes automatic. Your brain starts to think in English naturally, without effort. Don't worry if this habit is slow to develop. It takes time, patience, and kindness toward yourself. Celebrate every small moment when you think in English, even a single word or sentence. Each step moves you closer to true fluency. By the end of this chapter, you will feel strong, free, and ready for the next step, whatever that may be. You have the tools, the mindset, and the habit to keep learning forever. English is not just a subject to study, it is a language to live. Remember, the journey is yours to enjoy. Keep exploring, keep practicing, and keep dreaming in English. The world is waiting for your voice. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey from beginner to advanced. Your future in English is bright and full of possibilities. Keep going and never stop learning. Now that you've seen the full journey, from the very first step of listening to thinking in English and speaking fluently, I hope you feel inspired and ready to keep moving forward. Learning a language is a beautiful adventure, and you have everything you need to succeed. If this video helped you in any way, please take a moment to like it. It really supports the channel and lets me know you want more videos like this. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends or anyone who wants to learn English, because together we grow faster. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss any new lessons and tips to help you become an even better English speaker. I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell me where you are in your English journey right now. Are you a beginner just starting out? Or maybe you are intermediate, looking for ways to improve? Or perhaps you are almost advanced and want to master fluency? I read every comment, and your story inspires me. I want to help you keep moving forward, step by step. Remember, this is just the beginning. The path to English fluency is a lifelong journey, but you don't have to walk it alone. Let's keep going, together. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.